So today we do some more butterfly passing from from a standing position this time. So get your initial grips on the knees with your elbows flared out, and then you bring your elbows in, so you get a little twist on the material, and you lock your elbows in. If you don't bring your elbows in, you're going to be susceptible to him bringing his legs in and then pulling you forward. So bring your elbows in. Then we did 4 passes from here. The first one is just sort of stepping around your lead leg. You go to your knee, and then you settle in side control. I think it's more realistic to sort of tripod as you pass, rather than go to your knee. I think that's what Tim would say. Let's see, second pass is what if, so if you're playing butterfly, if you're on the bottom, you want to go underneath your opponent in order to sweep them. So you want to kind of scoot closer on your butt and get your hips under their hips. So the first one was, if the opponent does like no resistance at all. Second one is, what if your opponent tries to scoot his butt toward you? So in that case, as he scoots his butt, his knees will go up a little bit. So you want to use that momentum, push his knees towards his chest. At which point he'll probably push back. So push his legs toward you. So you want to use that momentum, pull his legs toward you, and step around, and then pass. So the second one. Third one is, what if he does like a loop, lasso guard. So lasso guard is when they have a sleeve grip and then loop their foot over your arm, and then try to control your arm that way. So if they do that, then you immediately loop your arm around their leg the other way to break that lasso. And then let's see, break that. So then you have, let's see. Oh, it's on the wrist. Okay. So then, all right. Okay. So then you loop your hand. So their foot is going from outside to in, I think. So you go underneath from inside to out, and you grip the fabric on the outside of the leg. And pull, and you pass on that side. So that sort of immobilizes that leg, and you step around that leg. And then the fourth way is if he's doing spider. So spider is when they have wrist grips, wrist cuff grips, and then they put a foot on your bicep and stretch your arm out, and you're sort of like a marionette. So in that case, you want to regrip on the pants from like a knee grip to a shin grip. You want to take a step back. That relieves the pressure on your arm. So you step back. He'll, like most of the time, they actually just sort of rocked forward, sort of where their foot came to the ground and their back came up, and they're sort of off balance for a second, and then you can take that moment to pass. You're sort of like in the original position of having the knee grips with them sitting up the first pass, where you can just step around. So it's similar to that motion. So there's 4. Then we did some rolling. I noticed that I think one of the things I have trouble with when I'm retaining guard is that I don't really know that many open guards. So when there's space between, when I create space between me and someone else, it's harder for me to, or like, I don't know how to close that space off and put barriers in between. All I'm doing is kind of knee shielding, so they can just continue passing. So I need, right, so the knee shield is only really effective if they're coming straight on at me. So if they're going around me, it's harder for me to put points of contact in between us. So I think because I don't know that many open guards, basically all I know is Del Hiva. I know reverse Del Hiva, but I don't really think about it. Sort of know X guard and single X, but I don't know them well enough to get into that position. I mean, I know what they are, I guess, but I don't know how to easily get into. I don't know what the position looks like. I need to like look at a picture and then replicate it. So just knowing the open guards in order to put a guard in that effectively uses the angle that I'm at would help a lot, I think. Also, I could try that bringing the leg over looping thing. That might help too.